Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In our previous class, we have been completed the first chapter, reproduction in organism. Related to that chapter, if you have any doubt means you can ask the doubts. So today's class, let us start the sexual reproduction in flowering plant. So in this chapter, we are going to study about the flowering plants. So in flowering plants, how the sexual reproduction it will be held. Chapter 2, so sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So in angiosperm, so in angiosperm plant what happen, flowers are the what organ, flowers are the organ of sexual reproduction. In angiosperm plants, flowers are the organ of sexual reproduction. Angiosperm means already have been studied in your first year. So plant kingdom has been classified into the how many groups here? It has been classified into the 5 groups. Which are those means? First one algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and last one it will comes here angiosperm. So in only this angiosperm group of plants, they are having the capacity to produce the flowers. So in all the angiosperm plants, flowers are present, and these flowers we are calling it as a organ of sexual reproduction. Why we are calling it as a flowers as an organ of sexual reproduction? Because flower is one organ, fruit is one organ, leaf is one organ. So like that, flower is one organ which is responsible for sexual reproduction. Why it is responsible for sexual reproduction? Means because it contains both anther and the stigma. So male and female part it is present. So that's why flower we are calling it as a organ of the sexual reproduction. Now this flower, so it is this flower, it is an object for what it means aesthetic, ornamental, social, religious and cultural values. It is one of the organ which is responsible for varieties of activities here. It is an object. So flower what we are calling, flower is one object. Flower is one object here where it is used as for what it means for a ornamental purpose. It is used for the ornamental purpose, social, religious, cultural values, for all these purpose. So we are using it as a object. So flower is a part which is used for all this purpose. Ornamental means, so females usually to decorate themselves, they are using the what means flowers. So ornamental, like they are using it as a ornament, like how we are using the ornaments, jewelries we are using for what purpose? Means to look ourselves as a beautiful in condition. In the same manner, flower is like also acting like a ornament, so which will helps to look appear, which helps to appear in a very beautiful in condition. So flowers is used as an ornamental purpose. Even the flowers it is used as a social function also we are using here. So whichever the social function it may be present here, so we are what we are using here, we are using this what here means as a what here we are using them. So like here it may be your Independence Day, it may be a Republic Day, or any other social functions it may be present, we are using this flower as one of the object here, so which will give the respect for that particular thing. So next, even we are using as a religious purpose. So even in our religious purpose also we are using for that one. So many functions, religious functions, it will comes for everything what we are doing means we are using this flower. And even for the cultural values also we are using this object. In all these cases what we means we are using the flowers, and these flowers even it will convey the symbol for what it means. These flowers it will convey the symbol. So what here means conveying the symbols of what? Symbols for love. This flower it will give the symbol for what? It will give the symbol for love, affection. Affection means what? Attraction. It is giving the symbols for what here means. It is giving the symbols for of love. It is giving the symbols for affection. It is giving not only for these things, even it is giving the symbol for what here means mourning. It is a symbol for what here means For all this purpose, it is giving a symbol. So like if you are loving here means this flowers, it will give the symbol of what here means love. If it gives the symbol of affection, affection means attraction here. So if you are attracting for anything here means we are conveying with the help of this flower. Or else even in the morning, if somebody their death here means, so what here means to give respect for them, we are giving the symbol from this flower only. If anybody dies here means we are giving the flowers for them, we are keeping the flowers on them here. For what here means to give the respect for them here. In all these cases, this flower it is acting like a symbol for them. So this is the benefits we are getting from the flower. And flowers where it will produce means flowers it will produce in the angiosperm plants. The plants it will produces the flowers. Such plants we are connected as it will belongs to the angiosperm, which is used for all this purpose, starting from birth up to the death. So what here means in every cases we are using the flower. That much the importance of this flower we are using in our day-to-day life. Now let us know which are the parts are present in the flower. So what are the parts? So already you have been studied in your first year. So once again let us glance that part, which are the parts are present in the flower. Flower is the modified shoot for what means sexual reproduction. So say by flower what it will means it is an organ which will help for the what means sexual reproduction. Now let us know this flower. So this is the stalk of this flower. What we are calling it as a pedicel. So this is the stalk. This is the typical flower. Which flower means hibiscus flower. So the stalk. This is the stalk. The stalk of this flower. What we are calling stalk of this flower. We are calling it as a pedicel. Already you have been studied in your first year. Once again we are going for a glance this one. So stalk of the flower, what we are calling stalk of the flower, we are calling it as a pedicel. Which is the stalk of this flower? This one. Thus this is the stalk of the flower, we are calling it as a pedicel. Now upper swollen part is this pedicel. So this is the pedicel. This pedicel upper swollen part. So pedicel's upper swollen part like this it will come, the swollen upper. So upper swollen part of this pedicel. What we are calling? We are calling it as a thalamus. What we are calling? We are calling it as a thalamus. So upper swollen part of the stalk. Whose swollen part? Stalk swollen part. So upper stalk swollen part, what we are calling means we are calling it as a thalamus we are calling. So this part we are calling it as a stalk. This part swollen part we are calling it as a thalamus we are calling. And next the modified leaves as a floral whorls are arranged on this thalamus, above on this thalamus. So what happens means the oral parts will be present here, and this thalamus will be arranged here. So on this thalamus the oral parts will be arranged here, oral parts will be arranged here. So which are those four oral parts means 4 it is there. Which are those means as you know very well here, which are those 4 oral parts means one is the calyx, corolla, androecium, another one is gynoecium. So these are the 4 oral parts of the flower. 4 floral oral parts. What we are calling? We are calling it as a floral orals. Floral parts of the flowers. Where these 4 floral oral parts will be arranged, they will be arranged on this thalamus. So calyx means what we are? Calyx means sepals. Calyx means to whom we are calling? Calyx means we are calling it as a sepals. Next corolla. So corolla means what we are calling? Petals. Petals means what here? Corolla. Petals means what we are calling? Corolla we are calling. Next third one is the androecium. Androecium is nothing but here anther. So androecium. And next to fourth one is gynoecium. Gynoecium is nothing but here the stigma, style, ovary. So this part what we are calling means we are calling it as a gynoecium. These are the 4 oral parts which will be arranged on this thalamus. So thalamus is a swollen part. So where it will be present means it will be present above the stalk or above the pedicel. So on this thalamus 4. How many means 4 oral parts, plural oral parts will be arranged. Why we are considered as oral means because completely it will be surrounded in condition. These petals not only present in one side here, it will be present completely surrounding here. Completely it will be surround like this. So that's why we are considered as orals we are calling here. Completely it will be surrounded. These 4 oral parts will be present. First one is the calyx, corolla, androecium, and last one is the gynoecium. Now calyx and corolla, what we are calling means we are calling it as a accessory or orals we are calling. Calyx and corolla, what we are calling? These both we are calling it as a accessory orals we are calling. Accessory orals. Why we are calling it as accessory orals? Because here these 2 parts they'll help only for the attraction for the insects, for the purpose of pollination. They are not taking role in any sexual reproduction. What is the role of this calyx and corolla, sepals and petals means? So they are only plays a role for the attraction of the insect for the purpose of what here? Pollination. So that's why we are calling it as a accessory orals we are calling. And each unit completely we are calling it as a calyx. Complete we are calling it as a corolla we are calling. And in that each unit, one unit or one thing where unit we are calling it as a sepal. Now see here, this is one unit. So this one unit we are calling it as a sepal. Complete how many sepals are present? Complete all together we are calling it as a calyx. In the same manner, petals also. One single one we are calling it as a petal. So single unit what we are calling? One single unit we are calling it as a petal. Now this is one unit, this is one unit, this is one unit. So 3 petals have been drawn here. So completely this is one petal, this is one petal, this is one petal. Like that still many more will be there. Complete all these petals what we are calling? We are calling it as a corolla we are calling. So like that unit of this calyx, if in your exam there may be ask you, we have write the unit of the calyx means what you have to write here? Sepals. We write the unit of the corolla means petals. Each unit we are calling it as a petals or sepals. So complete we are calling it as a calyx for this one and corolla for this one. So like that it will be present. So this is the accessory orals. Now remaining androecium and gynoecium. So for this what we are calling means we are calling it as a essential orals. So what we are calling? Essential orals. Or else even we are calling it as a another one name what here means we are calling it as a reproductive orals. So essential orals are reproductive. Why we are calling it as essential or reproductive means essential means needed. So what for means these 2 oral parts it is needed for the sexual reproduction. These androecium and gynoecium only they are playing a most important role for the sexual reproduction. With the help of this we are sexual reproduction it will be take place. Suppose if any flower, so androecium and gynoecium it is not there means calyx and corolla it is there means in such type of flower sexual reproduction it will not be held. If the sexual reproduction want to held means these 2 parts it is most important part. With the help of these parts only the reproduction, sexual reproduction process it will be held. Next one. So this calyx as I said you here the single unit we are calling it as a sepals. So this what is the benefit of this calyx means it will give the protection for the flower. What is the benefit of this calyx here means it is giving the protection. It is giving protection for the flower. When means during the bud condition. During the bud condition, it is giving the protection for the flower. Usually you have seen the many flower buds. So many flower buds are enclosed by whom means so it will be enclosed by the sepals which will be in a green in color. Even you have seen the rose. So rose bud. So rose bud how it will be? It will be in a green in color. So it will be covered by whom means it will be covered by this calyx which is what it contains means it contains the sepals. Many units it contains that is we are calling it as a sepals. What is the function of this calyx or sepals means it gives the protection for the flowers during the bud condition. Simultaneously, if you come to the corolla, what is the function of the corolla? Means it will be bright in color. Petals were in which condition it will be present? Petals will be in a bright in color, in different colors, and all the colors it will give a very attraction look for the flower. So what is the benefit we are getting from this? Means it will attracts for the birds. It will attracts for the insects here. So due to that one, for the pollination it will be held. What is the benefit of this corolla? Means so benefit of the corolla, it will helps to attract the what here means it will helps to attract the birds and insects. Birds and insects for what purpose? Means for the purpose of pollination. For the purpose of pollination, it will give the attraction. So if pollination will be take place, means then only for that process it will be held. So that is the benefit we are getting from the. So that is the benefit we are getting from this corolla. So it will help for the pollination purpose. So it will be in a very attractive in colors. So they will be having a bright colors. So due to that bright color, many insects, many birds, many animals will come close to the. Then due to that one, what happen here is pollination it will be held. That is the benefits of this calyx and the corolla. Next, if you come to the androecium here. So androecium is nothing but it consists of the stamen. What it contains? It consists of stamen. This complete part we are calling it as a stamen. So what we are calling is this complete part, this one complete part, what we are calling means we are calling it as a stamen we are calling, which is the male reproductive organ. Stamen, what means it is a male reproductive organ. Next, if you come to the gynoecium, means we are calling it as a carpel. This one complete stigma, style and ovary. This complete part what we are calling means we are calling it as a carpel. So we are calling carpel, which is the female part. Which part here? It is the female part. So these are the parts which are present in the flower. Next, sexual reproduction in flowering plants includes sporogenesis, gametogenesis, pollination, fertilization and embryogeny. So next here, sexual reproduction in flowering plants, what it includes? It includes sporogenesis, gametogenesis, pollination, fertilization and embryogenesis embryogenesis. So complete section in angiosperm plants, sexual reproduction what it includes? It includes all these events. Which are the events? Sporogenesis, gametogenesis, pollination, fertilization, then last is embryogeny. So let us know one by one here. First let us go for the sporogenesis. Sporogenesis. So sporogenesis is nothing but, so it is a process of formation of spores. The name itself it will show what is the meaning. It is a process of formation of spores. It is a process where formation of spores it will be taken place. Now these spores, it is two types. These spores, it is how many types here? It is two types. Which are those two types? Means one is the microsporogenesis, another one is megasporogenesis. So what it means, it involves both two spores it is present. One is the microsporogenesis, another one is the megasporogenesis. And both this microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis, what they contain is they will involve the meiosis cell division. What they involve? They involve the meiosis cell division. Both microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis, what they involve? Both they involve the meiosis cell division. Whereas now microsporogenesis, where it will be held means it will be held in the pollen sac of the anther. Where it will take place? It will take place in means it will take place in the pollen sac of anther. Microsporogenesis, where it will take place means microsporogenesis it will take place, or else even we are calling it as a occurs. Microsporogenesis it will occurs in the pollen sac of anther, or it will take place in the pollen sac of the anther. Just now as I said you here, this is the male reproductive part. So this is the male reproductive part. What we are calling? We are calling it as a stamen. We are calling, and in this part we are calling it as a anther. This part what we are calling? We are calling it as a anther. Now this microsporogenesis process, where it will take place means it will take place in this anther, in this structure. It will take place inside this anther structure. Inside this anther structure, what it contains? It contains the empty space. It contains bag-like structure. It will present empty space. So in that bag-like structure, this is the empty space like this. So here the empty space it will present. This empty space what we are calling means we are calling it as a pollen sac. Sac meaning what here? Empty space. So pollen sac, where in this empty place who will be present? The pollen grains it will be present. So microsporogenesis, where it will take place means it will take place inside this pollen sac of this anther. So how this process it will be occur means this process it will take place through the meiosis cell division. In the same manner, simultaneously in the same manner, what happens means megasporogenesis it will be held. Megasporogenesis means where it will be take place means it will take place here, it will occurs in the nucellus of ovule. Nucellus of the ovule, where it will take place? It will take place in the nucellus of the ovule. It will take place here. Now do you know very well about the female reproductive part? So this is the stigma, style, and this will be the ovaries. The swollen part what we are calling? We are calling it as a ovary. This part stigma, this one style, and this one ovary. This complete part what we are calling? We are calling it as a carpel. What we are calling? We are calling it as a carpel. This complete part what we are calling? This complete part we are calling it as a carpel. So now in this inside this carpels, that is nothing but inside this ovary, who will be present means ovule will be present. Inside this who will present? Inside this the ovule structure will be present. Like this. So like this the ovule structure will be present. In this ovule structure, here the nucellus will be present. Nucellus will be present. This part we are calling it as a nucellus. Later further briefly we will discuss this structure of ovule, which is one of the important question for your exam. 100% it will be appear for your in your exam for 5 marks. So like this is the ovule. So this megasporogenesis, where it will be take place means it will be occurs in the nucellus of this ovule. In this struck place here, the megasporogenesis process it will be take place. So what means sporogenesis means it is a process of formation of spores. So how many types of spores it is present? 2 types of spores are present. One is the microsporogenesis, another one is the megasporogenesis. Both the spore formation, where how it will be occurs means it will be occurs through the meiosis. Microsporogenesis, where it will take place means it will take place in the pollen sac of the anther. So this is here the microsporogenesis it will take place. Where the megasporogenesis take place means it will be held in the where means in this nucellus of this ovule. So where this ovule structure will present means it will be present inside this ovary. It will be present. Later this ovule it will convert into the seed, and whereas this ovary part it will be converted into the fruit. So lay up to here. Next let us discuss about the stamen. So next let us discuss the stamen, microsporangium and pollen grains. So which are the parts of the male reproductive system. So in that first let us discuss about the stamen. So stamen means you know very well this complete male reproductive part of the flower, that is nothing but we are calling it as a androecium. So this androecium structure we are calling it as a stamen. This complete structure what we are calling it as a stamen. We are calling that is nothing but we are calling them as a androecium, which is the third oral part of the flower. So let us discuss about this stamen. So stamen contains the two parts. This stamen contains how many parts here? Two parts. Which are those two parts? Means one part we are calling as a filament, another one we are calling as a anther. So stamen it contains so many parts here. The stamen it contains the two parts. Which are those? Means one we are calling as a filament, another one we are calling as a anther. Which is the filament and which is the anther? Means this complete long part we are calling as a filament, and this part we are calling as a anther. This complete part what we are calling as a anther. This part what we are calling as a filament. So stamen contains the two part. One we are calling as a anther, another one we are calling as a filament. Now filament is a long slender stalk like structure attached to the thalamus or petal. So we are discussing about this filament part. Filament how it is present? Means filament it is a long slender stalk like structure. Filament how it is present? It is a long slender stalk like structure it is present. So this is the stalk which is holding for the anther. It is a stalk like a structure, like a flower it is holded by a what is pedicel. In the same manner, so filament this anther it is held by whom? Is it is held by the filament. So it is a long stalk like a structure which will be attached to where? Means it will be either it may be attached to the thalamus or either it may be attached to the petals. In some flowers this part it will be attached to the thalamus. So as I said you here, the swollen part it will be present above the pedicel. So as in some flowers, so filament will be attached to the thalamus, whereas in some flowers this filament it will be attached to the petals. This filament it will be attached to the means it will be attached to the corolla. So like that here. So this is about the filament. So filament is a long slender stalk like structure which either it may be attached to the thalamus or it may be attached to the petals. In some flowers it may be attached to the thalamus, in some flowers it may be attached to the petals, it may get attached. Now above this filament who will be present? Anther will be present. So anther is a terminal fertile part consists of two lobes which are joined together by a narrow strip of tissue called connective. So what they are telling me is anther it is a terminal part. Why anther? Terminal means what here? Ending. Anther which is we are connected as a ending part, because here so this it will be either connected to the petal or either it may be connected to the thalamus here. So either it may be connected to the petal like this. So if it connected means which part? This only it will comes to the ending part now. So terminal part is nothing but ending part. So this part it will comes to the end. So that's why anther it is we are calling as a terminal part, and this is a fertile part we are calling. So this filament it is not a fertile part. Filament is not a fertile part. So it is a fertile part, and the anther it is a fertile part. So anther is a terminal ending part it is present, and even it is a fertile part also it is present. What it contains? It contains the two lobes here. Anther what it contains? It contains the two lobes. See, this is one lobe, this is one lobe. Two lobes it contains. Anther contains what here? Anther contains like this two lobes it contains. One lobe, two lobes. Anther contains the two lobes it contains, which are joined together by a narrow strip. Both these two lobes it is joined by a narrow strip like structure. So like this. So both this it will be joined by this narrow strip like structure like this. Narrow strip like structure. This narrow strip like structure what we are calling means we are calling it as a connective like this. Both these lobes it will be there. I am doing the shading. So this is we are calling it as a connective. This one we are calling it as a connective. So both the lobes, this is one lobe, this is one lobe. So both the lobes are connected by a narrow. Narrow means what? A sharp. Narrow means what here? Sharp, small strip like structure we are calling it as a connective. So this is lobe, this is lobe. Both the lobes are connected by this like this narrow strip like structure, call it as a connective. And this anther it will be connected to which part? Means it will be connected to this filament part, which is a long slender stalk like structure it is present, which will be either it may be attached to the petal or either it may be attached to the thalamus, it may be attached. Now next here, and this anther we are connected as a dithecus. This anther what we are calling? This anther we are connected as a dithecus. Di means what here? What is the meaning of di? Di means two. So anther this anther we are connected as a dithecus. Why we are connected as a dithecus? Means it is having the two lobes here. Just now as I said you here, it is having the two lobes. This is one lobe, this is one lobe. So this is one lobe and this is one lobe. Anther, it is having the two lobes here. So that's why this anther we are calling as a Dithecus anther we are calling. Now each lobe, this lobe and this lobe, each lobe what it contains means two longitudinally running chambers called pollen sac here. Now each lobe, just now I will draw here in a large condition. So like this is up, suppose this is a anther, this is one lobe, this is one lobe, two lobes are present, so that's why we are calling as a Dithecus anther. Now each lobe, it will be longitudinally, it will runs to this chamber like this it will runs and it will forms a pollen sac, it will forms here or else here also two forms. So totally how many will get here? 4 chambers will get like this. So they are just now see this section here, you can easily this is the section like this, we take the vertical section of this one, and if you see here means we will get the 4 like this. See, this is one chamber, pollen sac, this is one pollen sac, this is one pollen sac, this is one pollen sac. So empty gap. So in this is one empty gap, this is one empty gap, this is one empty gap, this is one empty gap. Totally how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. So longitudinally runs a chamber called pollen sac. So this is main. Here who will be present? Here the connective will be present. This is the connective where I done the shading. This is the connective. This is the connective. This is the connective. So this is one pollen, this is one lobe, this is one lobe. Both the lobes are longitudinally, it will runs to along this one, and totally we will get how many chambers we will get here? 4 will get here. So that's why this structure even we are called as a tetrasporangiate. Hence Dithecus anther is called as tetrasporangiate. Dithecus anther we are calling as a tetrasporangiate. Why we are calling as a tetra means what? 4. So why we are calling as a tetrasporangiate means because it contains the 4 pollen sacs it contains. So 1, 2, 3, 4. How the 4 chambers we got here? By the 2 lobes here. Both the lobes it will be longitudinally runs to over this here, and it will form say 4 chambers. 1, 2, 3, 4. So like that. See here also, if you take this section means you will get like this 1, 2, 3, 4. So like this 4 chambers we will get. So that's why we are called as a tetrasporangiate. See another one time I will repeat here. Dithecus anther. This anther we are called as a Dithecus. Why we are called because it contains the 2 lobes. 1, 2 lobes it contains. Now each lobe, this one lobe, each lobe means both the lobes. So each lobe what it contains means 2 longitudinally running chambers that are called a pollen sac. Both the lobes what it contains longitudinally like this it will runs here, and each lobe what we are calling means we are calling it as a pollen sacs we are calling. So this is nothing but we are calling it as a pollen sac. Or pollen sac even we are calling it as a microsporangia. Pollen sac what we are calling? Pollen sac we are calling it as a microsporangia we are calling. Pollen sac what we are calling? Microsporangia. So keep remember this one. Pollen sac even what we are calling? We are calling it as a microsporangia. So now this Dithecus anther even we are calling it as a tetrasporangiate. So why we are calling it as a tetrasporangiate means because it contains the 4 chambers, pollen sacs it contains. Sac means empty gap. Sac means what here? Empty gap it is present. So in this empty gap will be present, anthers will be present. Just now as I said here, sporogenesis. Sporogenesis is 2 types. One is the microgenesis. In that microgenesis, where it will be take place? It will take place in the pollen sac of the anther as I said here. So this is the pollen sac of this anther. So this is the anther pollen sac. Here the microsporogenesis process it will be take place. Where the microsporogenesis process it will be take place? Microsporogenesis process take place. Microsporogenesis. Microsporogenesis process it will take place in this sac, this sac, this sac, this sac, this sac. In all these 4 sacs, microsporogenesis process it will be taken place and helps for the formation of what here? Helps for the formation of this pollen grains. What it will help here? It will help for the formation of the pollen grains. So hence we will get the 4 pollen sacs. So that's why we are called as a tetrasporangiate. Now each pollen sac contains numerous pollen grains. So each how many pollen sacs we having? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pollen sacs having, and each pollen sacs what it contains? Numerous number of. So what it contains here? So what it contains? Pollen grains it contains. So this dotted structure what we are calling? This dotted structure structure we are calling it as a pollen grains it contains, and there are 4 to 5 layers of anther walls, and even what they contains here, wall is present here. So what the, how many layers? 4 to 5 layers anther wall it is present. So like that what it contains here, 4 to 5 layers of anther wall it is present. This is the complete structure of what here, stamen. Explained with a neat label diagram of a stamen structure, means you have to draw these structures and you have to write this one. So complete structure. So here we have completed the stamen. So structure of the stamen. So draw this one and write this points. Understand this one? So stamen is finish here. Next we'll move to the microsporangium. So microsporangium we'll discuss in your later classes.